What is up, everybody? Don't you worry. If you're reading the description down below and you're thinking, GCP, am I on the right show? Don't worry, you are. Yes, we are going to be talking about GCP dashboards today. But before we get into that, and also as a reminder, before I forget, at the end of the episode, if you go the way through, you'll see our summary points from Richard. So make sure you stick around and tune into that at the end. I have to keep reminding myself to say this. Now we have Richard on board helping use a new feature, so I need to do this. Okay, before I get to my lovely guest, I have two announcements that I need to make sure I tell everybody. The first is there's a brand new blog published, I think last night or this morning, depending on where you are. Jakob already messaged me about it.
Great stuff. Really great, great insights about logging. So looks excited.
Yeah, I'm super, let's pop this up on the screen. So we'll put this in the show notes as always, but new blog on optimization highlights from reInvent. Yes, we are still talking about reInvent in February. I actually did the reInvent recap in London this morning. We're talking all about these optimizations. And so we also put it into a blog format, so check that out. But the big, exciting news, I don't even know if these guys know, this show is moving. So we're going to move our start time to half an hour later. So that is obviously time zone dependent, but for the UK, that is 4 o'clock. For Eastern, that is 11 o'clock. And for Pacific, it's 8 o'clock. And it's going to be an hour long. Brace yourselves for way more content coming in the future. But yes, we are moving to be a full hour show on Twitch, which does mean there's going to be a couple of different changes when it comes to the YouTube and the Spotify. The Spotify is going to stick to the whole show. It's going to be the whole hour, whereas the YouTube is going to be cut down. We're going to have segments. We're going to have guests. We're going to have demos, deep dives, lessons, everything. Eric is already excited in the chat. Yay. Thank you, Eric. Big fan. Okay, let's get into this show then, which is still sticking to the half an hour today with my lovely guest. So welcome to the Keys to AWS Optimization, the show where we share stories, concepts, and solutions to unlock your spend in AWS. My name is Steph Gooch. I'm a senior optimization architect advocate. And today, like I said, we're going to be talking about GCP. So let's hear from our guest. I mean, Jakob has been on a few times. So Jakob, do you want to kick us off just saying hi again?
Yeah, hi. Well, that's for those who don't know me, I'm Yakov. I'm a senior TAM based out of Paris, and I'm one of the leaders of Cloud Intelligence Dashboard project. And we are quite frequent guests here, and I'm super excited to be here again. So, like the Cloud Intelligence Dashboard basically is a project where we provide customers with different dashboards, the surprise about the cost, some operational insights, and many more. And we had like lots of questions, like when we will start onboarding GCP. And actually, well, they're not only GCP, like generally multi-cloud, because some customers do have something besides AWS. That's life. And we published actually a few months back. There was Azure dashboard, and here we are I'm super excited to present to you Marco, who is the lead on this stream and the author of this awesome new dashboard stuff.
Yes, Marco, welcome to the show.
Thank
do you
you.
want to give yourself a 1-minute origin story just to introduce yourself to the folks watching?
Yeah, thank you, Yakov, and thank you, Steph. I'm Marco, and I'm a cloud infrastructure architect for professional service of AWS, obviously, and I'm based in the cloudy, I will say today, Milan. And yes, Yakov was saying, I lead this Google Cloud Platform integration for the Cloud Intelligence Dashboard. I'm a Cloud Intelligence Dashboard, contributor, officially now. And I'm really excited to present this multi-cloud initiative to the whole CID community and in a more larger sense to your audience, Steph, to these key optimization audience.
Amazing. Love it. And just to shout out to people in the chat, Costa loves CID, kudos, dashboards, big love. You can tell I'm a millennial because I don't have to do the other way of doing a heart. Hey to Dev down there. And yes, GCP along with Azure, great way to add all of your cloud providers. And we're going to get Richard to grab that Azure video that we also presented on. before we dive into the dashboard, let's just quickly check in on why did you guys decide to make a GCP dashboard? I feel like it might be obvious, but do you want to explain a bit of background on that?
Yeah, Marco, go ahead.
Go for it, Marco.
Yeah, okay. I can go for it. Well, basically, Yakov, correct me if I'm wrong, but one of the main aim of Cloud Intelligent Dashboard Framework is basically to provide visibility on cloud user, and not only related to AWS. And the reason why is because a lot of customers are using both AWS or other cloud provider alongside with AWS, and we would like to provide visibility on both of them, or even three if they're using three, I don't know. But we would like to provide this central visibility. And I don't want to spoiler nothing on the next step that we have, but this is like a foundational step for integrate this with some other, for example, FinOps Foundation initiative like Focus, for example. So, I mean, I don't want to spoiler anything, but just a mention.
Yeah, so that's indeed very right. So we have like lots of customer having big, like some AWS spend and some things alongside, and we really want AWS to be a central spot when you just log into Quicksight and you see everything, like your full control plane.
Love it. Awesome. And there's a link below to more about the modernizing with Azure dashboard in case anybody was wondering. Okay, so let's get into a little bit more about the dashboard. So just to check, is it available now for customers to deploy? It is?
Yeah, the main fact is this release is quite fresh. I mean, it's available like on GitHub, like from Friday. The previous week, yes, the previous Friday, and now we have a public workshop that was public like today, or maybe this night, even better. And we are going to publish also a blog post on the next days, but the main resources for deploying the dashboard are actually available. So if a customer or if a CID user want to start to deploy this dashboard, they can start even now.
Awesome.
Or maybe in 20 minutes after this show.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, don't leave yet. Wait for some demos. This is the category link. Okay, so before we go into our first part of the demo, let's just quickly. Oh, let me share my screen. Let's do a quick poll. Have you deployed a CID before? So in the chat, 1 for yes, 2 for no. So pop in your numbers for have you deployed one. I'm assuming many watchers of this show have definitely deployed one of the dashboards. I feel like I've deployed it 100 times with different customers. So let us know in that chat. And then, we're seeing a bunch of people saying yes. So yes, you've got fans of the dish. A resounding yes from Cosplayer. I feel like I get that vibe. I've done it a lot. Awesome. Okay, so do you guys want to go through a demo or the architecture first? Up to you guys.
Yeah, maybe Jacob, I don't know. Maybe we can let's go with the architecture and try to explain how it works, and then go to the demo.
Please do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let me share my screen. So, just a second. Okay. So I assume can you see?
Yeah.
So here we are. Here we have our architecture for these GCP dashboard and how the infrastructure that is like under the hood for this dashboard and how it works. Basically, as you can see, we have 2 cloud environments. Obviously, we have GCP on the left and AWS on the right. And the central point for this architecture are the glue jobs that are like centrally on the architecture diagram. Those glue jobs are the main one, and those are leveraging on the new BigQuery connection feature that is now native supportedly from AWS Glue, and is leveraging this new feature to extract data from the BigQuery dataset, and then basically retrieve this data, obviously authenticated thanks to the service account key that is stored into the secret manager AWS service. And yeah, this retrieving this billing data, put this data basically in an S3 bucket. And with this S3 bucket, we have an automatic trigger orchestrated with Glue workflow. And when every Glue job is in a succeeded state, this will automatically trigger our crawler. The crawler will basically update the data structure in the Glue data catalog. And then we have, like in every CID deployment, our Amazon Athena with our tables and view, and Quicksight to basically access Athena and access Athena data. And that's an overview of the architecture. I would like also to mention that we are using DynamoDB to basically recreate the job lookback function of AWS Glue. And the reason behind this is because we want to have the extraction that is incremental. So we don't want to, extract every time all of the data, because otherwise we will consume a lot of resources and the customer will pay a lot for extracting this data. So at the end of every job, we ensure that like a timestamp is inserted into DynamoDB, and the next time that the Glue job will start, we are using this timestamp to choose when to start to retrieve data from GCP. And that's the reason why we're using DynamoDB.
Oh, clever. Okay, well, I want to drill down on a couple of bits before we go into the actual demo.
Yeah,
so
sure.
It's been a while since I used to use GCP back in the day when I was at my previous company. But what are the processes around like how Amazon gets access to GCP? I think you mentioned encryption. Do you want to dive into some of that? Jakov, I don't know if you want to jump in or if you want Marco to go for it.
Yeah, you mean, for example, also for security, right?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. First of all, we are leveraging, as I was saying before, on AWS Secret Manager to securely store the service account keys from the service account in GCP into Secret Manager. And we are leveraging on the impersonating feature of GCP to use this key and basically impersonate the service account to extract data from BigQuery. And the other security feature that we add in this architecture that maybe is hidden, but I ensure that there is, we use KMS encryption wherever is possible. So for example, the bucket that is storing GCP building data, it's totally encrypted with KMS. And the same, for example, is for DynamoDB or for shuffle data in Glue job. So basically everything about building data of GCP and AWS is encrypted.
Perfect. And so, I just love, go on, Jakov.
The very, very frequent question about this kind of architecture, like if AWS actually can access the GCP data, like this is a big question, and the answer is no. Like this is not possible, because when the data arrives to the bucket, and they're stored with customer KMS keys, so that this is not something that we can that AWS can unencrypt. And this is so this means that they're same level of security as all the other data that customer trusts to AWS to store. So like no access for AWS. So AWS will not know what will be your discounts from GCP or from Azure for this matter.
Yeah, don't panic. Nobody panics. And I really enjoyed the bit you mentioned about DynamoDB, about kind of making sure that you control the kind of cost of getting that data. Just while we get a couple of questions, so on the cost topic of it, would there be any additional cost to consider for this kind of deployment?
Well, on this architecture, you will pay only for the underlying resources that you are deploying. So you are paying only for the Glue job, the S3 bucket, and so on. And also you will pay on the GCP side for query on BigQuery and for the data extraction. So we'll pay for the data that go out. Obviously, the higher cost, it's like on the first extraction, because if you're retrieving like 2 years of billing data, from maybe also more than one billing account in GCP, obviously it will be an higher cost than the daily basis that you will have if you just extract a little portion of data. So, and obviously the cost is directly and strictly related with the amount of data that you are extracting. So unfortunately, it's not a fixed cost that we can forecast or anything like this. It's proportional to the amount of your data, but there is no additional cost. So no license cost or anything else.
Awesome, yeah. As per the Quicksight, fees are always in there. But as everybody in this chat just told me, you guys are already using CID, so there's no additional license fees in there. And I think if you want an analogy, it's kind of like snapshots, where you pay for snapshots, right? If you just do the incremental data changes that we're paying for when you do that bit. Awesome. And this one is more of a request. Please provide Terraform support in the cloud-to-cloud formation and also Cloud Shell supporting using CID. I feel like let's write that down as a note. Thank you for the feedback. Okay, should we get into a demo of this dashboard? Stop teasing everybody the idea. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
cool.
Let's see some charts. So here we are with the company called Norimore. This company has several branches. Like one is Gondor, other is Rohan, and we have also Hobbiton, well, small branch in Hobbiton and Mordor. So like this is very real company that I would just well, the data is fully generated, so we can there's some funny stuff about geolocation, etc. So you can see already some forecasting, and you can see like in the how your cost being splitted between this business unit, already giving you some insights, and also how well you can see this cost of different business unit, how it grows. So we see this, there is Gondor, who started the migration, then a few months later there was Rohan, who also started the migration. So they all joined forces. And what interesting stuff about this dashboard, so we can switch back and forth. Like for example, we can switch from bigger level to smaller level to the level of projects, etc. This is very interesting stuff about GCP data because, well, we have very advanced information about project. Like this is super useful when you're analyzing big company spend. So what else? Here also, like interesting feature of GCP is that we can see the cost and we can see the cost after credit. So we can have a switch here, and for this demo data, we don't have any credits available. So because well this is we don't know what kind of credits you can possibly have, but well, let's suppose for the customer who will have some different kind of credits, different type of the equivalent of savings plan, or there is also sustained usage discount, very interesting, which we don't have in Amazon. So like all this discount will be shown here, and you will see the percent of this effective discount, like what you have for last few months. So this is the main view of the dashboard, and once we are comfortable with that, we can go further and, for example, see the trends, like how Gondor or Rohan or Hobbiton are performing. Like that's you see that Hobbiton probably needs some more things, and you can see here that's we can see how much we spend on the compute, how much we spend for the network, and we can, for example, click it here and see like how much each of the business units spend on the cloud SQL, which is the equivalent of RDS, right? Managed database. So that's very convenient to have a quick analysis like this, and so you can get already quite a lot of insights. And for sure, like there is a big chapter for credits. This is what customer mainly interested in. Again, in this generated data, we don't have any discount, but once you will have some discount, you will see how much of the discount related to committed usage, promotions, sustained usage. Is very interesting concept for those who never touched GCP like me before. Like that's you basically have the discount when you have your workload just stay there for some time. You have discount for that. So very interesting insights you can get from discount, how they actually work, how they work per different services, how they applied in time, and also like what you can see per time and per business unit and per service. It will give you the full picture of all your discounts here.
Awesome.
Next, yeah.
Before you even let's drill into a couple of bits. I got a couple of questions. Also, so if people are joining and I just want to recap, we are talking about the new GCP dashboard available. As always, as a note, if you have any follow-up questions, feel free to email us at costoptimization@amazon.com. And if you're watching on YouTube, Spotify, or even live on Twitch, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all of our content. So yeah, a couple of questions. So I mean, let me just go from a personal point of view. As I said at the start, I haven't looked at GCP data in a long time. So if I was a watcher right now, and maybe you know that you're going to start using GCP, maybe you're a company that absorbed another cloud workload which is in GCP, this dashboard will help you to really understand the billing data, because it is different. They are all different. The three providers have not followed anything. Obviously, we're ignoring Focus right now, but there's no kind of set way of doing it. So this is a great way to kind of get more of a bearing on your data. One question: there is currency. There's Euro and USD. Is that in the data, or is that something that you guys have added?
That's really cool. They have you not only have you don't have only this data, but you also have a currency rate here.
Oh, yes, this is yes, I remember this. Now
Really cool.
just said it.
Like this is very frequent question about kudos, like how we can show it in the currency in kudos, like not US dollars, but and here, well, in this dashboard, just the click of the button and you have everything in euros. And this is, well, you see, that's all forecast. All these charts can be in euros, it can be in dollars, or
Nice.
like the local currency.
Okay,
That's
awesome.
That's pretty cool stuff.
So if you were going to pick something on one of the other tabs to showcase as well, just one thing, because I know what would you show off?
Yeah, for sure. That would be a compute. That's the most frequent one. So like in compute, again, you have lots of interesting insights about your usage. Well, that's let's say the you can also see like how much you're using. You can see the elasticity of your cloud workloads and so on. So like that's one of the most interesting insights are on compute. Well, next, no surprises. There are some interesting stuff in SQL, etc., etc. So like that's I would really invite, like, if you are a GCP expert, and we are not, like that's we just to be to full disclosure, we are not GCP expert like this. We are FinOps expert. We have lots of interesting knowledge, and we know how to build insightful things. So like if you are a GCP expert, I will be very glad to discuss it with you. So like that's lots of interesting insights. We can do it. And the project is basically open source, meaning that you can deploy it in your environment. You can modify it, like you can create an analysis out of this dashboard, modify it, and propose us propose us the not a merge request, but let's discuss it and integrate it to the main branch. And we're happy to put your name as a contributor. So that's really open source stuff here.
Yeah, definitely get in touch. We want to hear if you have any feedback on the dashboards. Like I said, it's new. I'm gonna jump to a couple of questions before we go into our last bit or points. How does this integrate with other dashboards? Is there a way to kind of connect them together, or are they still sitting separately?
Yeah. So like well, not yet. That's this is a standalone dashboard, same as our Azure dashboard. It is the data are pretty different from continuous report, but well, we are working with Focus folks from FinOps Foundation. So let's we need, well, that's now with all this work that Marco has done. This is quite well. The data will be in S3. This will be in the stack of this serverless analytics stack of AWS, and it will be much easier now to build a model on top of everything, which, well, where Focus helps a lot, and basically provide customers with the visibility across all the clouds. So now it is just, well, different dashboard, one dashboard for AWS, and one dashboard for Azure, and one dashboard for GCP.
Cool. We've got another follow-up question. Is there a native focus schema for CARE in AWS at the moment?
Well, not yet, but I really hope it will be one day. It will be much. Well, it will solve lots of our questions about this. But yeah, I don't have any insights about it. I'm really hoping as you are.
But
yes.
if you want to check like your AWS spend with Focus specification, you can start doing this with one of the latest version of the Kudos dashboard. Because starting from version 5.1, I remember, maybe I don't remember exactly the version, but there is like a schema for represent the expenses in Focus mode.
Yeah,
nice.
let's hold a little bit the excitement about this.
Okay.
We just integrated the cost, the service category, same as Focus. So we are working toward this. So this is really a big focus for us to be as close as Focus today.
Awesome. Yep. Okay. Oh, there's the classic chime of an Amazon employee, somebody who didn't mute their chime, which means we are at the end of the episode. Thank you so much for joining. We've hope you've learned about the GCP. Just a reminder, from the 22nd of February, we'll be moving to an hour. So we'll be starting the show at this time and then going for an hour. So something to look forward to. Mark that in your calendars. And next week, we're going to be talking about WAF optimization, WAF. So some security side. So stay tuned for that next week. Enjoy the rest of your day, everybody, and we'll see you next time. And as always, we have our episode summary. So we have CID is now available for all of your platforms. Yep, that's right. GCP, AWS, and Azure. AWS cannot access your GCP data. Do not worry. You set up that connection. And finally, it uses DynamoDB to lower your query charges in BigQuery. Great. Thank you so much for watching.